Hi, I wanted to provide some context to this video. I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay? Thank you. Enjoy the video.
Uh-oh. That guy right there, that's Dogpack404. Apparently he used to work for Mr. Beast, and he recently made a video that really came out with a lot of damning accusations about Mr. Beast and the whole structure of everything he does. Basically saying that he fakes videos, some of the ways he goes about his contests are actually illegal, that they're biased, giving weight to certain contestants over others. He alleges that he misleads children, and when I say that, I want to qualify, not misleading them in a grooming type of way or anything like that. We're talking about misleading them into seeing him as an authority figure and buying the products that he pushes towards them. It's a fascinating video. The link is in the description, of course, because I'm going to be using clips from that video to comment on. I would encourage you to watch the whole thing if you haven't already. It's really pretty fascinating stuff. But I want to break down the big accusations, give my thoughts on them, and leave space for you guys to tell me in the comment section what you think. You agree with me, disagree with me, or what your take is on the whole thing. It's, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world with hundreds of millions of views per year. This is kind of a big deal.
Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds for profit, is getting the viewer to associate the brand with trust and authority. Step 2 is showing the viewers that when people interact with MrBeast in a way that benefits MrBeast, when they do what he tells them to do, they win big rewards. And step 3 is finally calling on the viewer to act in some way that benefits the brand.
Now, the manipulating children thing, to me, that one's kind of a stretch. Let me be right up front. Whenever I comment on someone or some organization, I try and be fair with you guys and tell you what my take on them is to give you an idea of any unconscious bias that may be there. As far as Mr. Beast, there shouldn't be any unconscious bias because I don't really have a strong opinion either way. I've watched some of his videos. I've been entertained by some of his videos. He's always appeared to me to be an all right dude, but he's not somebody I'm a big fan of, nor is he somebody that I dislike for any reason. So this one should be pretty easy for me to call down the middle as far as my perspective. But yeah, manipulating children, because that's basically saying if you're making content that will appeal to children, you're manipulating them. And if you're going to go that far, that doesn't end when you're a child. We all, as adults, we have content geared to us in every media form that's designed to try and manipulate us. Commercials, TV shows themselves, movies, everything. Most everything has an agenda of some sort, and they're trying to manipulate us. I understand where he's coming from, saying, okay, Jimmy's positioning himself as a person of authority, and so when he says you need to be interested in this or buy this, you need to want to do it. I don't really consider that sinister. I mean, things like that, being a dad and a grandpa, I would handle that. If I see my kid getting too much into or too much hero worship of some Yazoo on YouTube, I would intervene in that and have a conversation with them about why you don't idolize people that you don't really know. I think he's really stretching on that one. I mean, come on. As far as manipulation, I get manipulated all the time, and I'm 62 years old. If you create a commercial, want me to buy a product, and you make a commercial and there's really nice boobies in it, I'll buy your product. I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah, I'm easily manipulated. I like boobies. So if you want to sell me a candy bar, which I also like, and want me to buy your candy bar instead of the one on the shelf next to it, make me a commercial with nice boobies. Happens all the time. We all get manipulated.
Is he subscribed? You are subscribed. Here's some money. Have a good day.
I also don't think there's anything sinister in the whole giving people money. Okay, if you're subscribed, prove to me you're subscribed. Here's some money. It's channel building. Is it cheesy? Maybe. But I don't think it's I don't think it's dark in any way, and I think it's a solid method of creating videos that people want to watch. We like seeing an average Jane or Joe get handed $1,000. It's kind of a cool thing. So again, I think you're stretching a little to come down on him for that, and the different things he's done to promote his channel, the giveaways and stuff. Again, is it kind of, as I said, cheesy? Is it kind of cheap way to attract attention? Yeah, but it certainly worked for him. I don't have a big issue with that, but some of the other things coming up, that's where I start to have an issue here or there.
MrBeast fakes his videos in ways that are worse than you realize.
So does MrBeast fake his videos? My take on that, prior to having seen Dogpack's video here, I've seen some MrBeast videos where I think, yeah, they worked that video a bit. That's just my opinion. I can't prove it. But if you're asking me, do I think he has fake elements within his videos? Yes. And beyond that, when you're doing anything with reality, a contest or something like that, are they creatively edited? Yes. But they're also creatively edited on television, streaming services, whatever else the case may be. That's not uncommon at all. Even like game shows and stuff, they edit creatively to make a game seem more tense than maybe it was. In other words, it came right down to the wire when actually it didn't. One side or the other had a comfortable lead. That stuff's like ticky-tacky to call out for that. But the issue is there are those videos, and Dogpack includes them, of MrBeast vehemently denying that they ever fake a video.
I remember when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, this shit's got to be fake.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's a huge problem for us now. I actually have to dial back my content sometimes just so people think it's real. But also, if what we had to film was scripted, because what we do is non-scripted, so you have to plan for a bunch of variables that you can't control, blah, blah.
Now, that gets to be a little bit of an issue, for me at least, just with trustworthiness if I'm watching this content. To me, in doing this and all the channels I have and this, that, and the other, I've always promised you guys, if nothing else, I'll always be honest with you and be upfront with you, even when it makes me look bad, or even if it's going to make you not like me. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't like the idea of somebody lying to me. If you don't want to admit to faking your videos, don't fake them. Do what you need to do to create a situation where you can tell me the real story. That is on that end, on that respect, him faking the videos, that's, if indeed it's going on, this is all alleged, but there's strong evidence, yeah, that's a problem.
This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Okay, this whole Mac thing, that's an issue. Yeah, I don't care for that. That definitely smells really, really bad. When you're trying to promote your video or put out your video and say, this was a real life contest for this guy, and we all need to root for him because this money's going to change his life. And not only that, what he went through was 100% legit. And you've got all this evidence proving that neither one of those things are necessarily true, that he's not hurting for money, because that's a lot of why you root so hard for someone. You want to see somebody that doesn't have a lot get ahead. At least for me, it is. And yeah, just having him, the way that was presented to us with Mac, it looks like there's little doubt that the videos were edited very creatively, and that it looked to me, and somebody who was a professional wrestler, I know a thing or two about a predetermined outcome. If I had to make a guess here, and again, I can't prove anything, so I'm telling you my opinion would be, yes, those are predetermined outcomes. And I know something about that. I have predetermined many an outcome to make the audience hopefully happy. I think that's what we're getting there.
You can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2.
Okay, now the boat video, if that's true, that pisses me off. Because it's one thing to, to enhance your videos a little bit here or there, but if Dogpack here is right, And that evidence he showed of, the gang is not even in the tent at night, and then they come back with the slickers, blah, blah, blah. There could be explanations for that. I'm only getting one side of the story again. I don't know what those explanations would be, but let's just say he's right and that they didn't do what the title of the video said, and they didn't survive whatever encounter they were going to survive. They didn't actually do it, and they stayed in the lap of luxury and just turned the cameras off for a while. That would piss me off. I would just stop watching his videos, period. Even if I was a fan, just because don't flat out lie to me. That's something that you could do. If you're going to say, hey, I'm going to be a badass, and I don't even remember what the circumstances were specifically, how many hours he was going to be out there on the ocean. But if you're going to tell me that you're going to go out there and you're going to tough it out, and you don't really do it, fuck you. Then I'm done watching you. And again, I can't prove that Jimmy and company didn't do exactly what they said, but there's some pretty damning evidence here. So if it's true that they're not going through with these, putting themselves into the situations they claim they're putting themselves into, then screw those guys. That really pisses me off.
That would be impossible because he films with hundreds of random subscribers, right? Wrong. Let's look at this video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
Hey, anyone I'm friends with watching that wants 10 grand?
They are never random subscribers.
Okay, now having his people in his contests, yeah, that seems like it's an issue. And I can tell you, I had some personal experience with this. There are very exacting, very stringent laws regarding contests of any sort. I can relate to this personally. When the channel was doing really well for a while there, we were hoping to build it someday. My whole family's Disney World nuts. We were hoping to build it up to a point where someday I could do a giveaway where we'd give away a trip to Disney to a few people who watch, to a few viewers, and I would meet them there, and I could make content of us having a good time at Disney World. I looked into it, and to give away a prize of that magnitude, the insane amount of legal hoops you have to jump through is just off the wall. There's no way I couldn't afford the team of lawyers it would take to make sure I was safe in actually running this contest. And it does seem, without a doubt, and I'd never really thought about this before, and it should have occurred to me with Jimmy's videos, with MrBeast's videos, it does seem like he's just kind of skirting around all that. At least that's the way it seems. I don't know how he gets to do that, because again, I read up on that stuff, and it's just stunning how, and I understand why, because they want contests to be run fairly. I think that goes back, it's just dawned on me. It was an old game show, $64,000 question, or the some amount of money dollar question, and I think there was some sort of nefarious acts going on that people were given information about the questions beforehand, and it threw the whole industry into an uproar right as game shows were becoming a big thing because it was being dishonest. That's my memory of it. It was something along those lines. Yeah, and I don't know how Jimmy's doing these giveaways and having his friends in there and still staying within the law, but hey, he should have a team of lawyers, I hope.
You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money, but doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
Yeah, now like that, like paying the Rubik's dude guy to leave the contest early, that doesn't smell good. And you could even make the case for, okay, maybe they were acting off the cuff, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here on behalf of MrBeast. They were playing devil's advocate, and he thought that'd be a funny thing to do at the time. Get rid of this guy who's good at it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, even if you make that case, you still did tilt the scales to where it's not necessarily a fair contest anymore. And if you did that again, I don't know that it's even legal, let alone let alone the fact that it just makes watching the whole thing less desirable to me. I want to see everybody have an equal chance. So yeah, I'm not sure how he's getting away with some of the stuff that he does.
And then we have a standards and practices person. And if you don't know what that is, on any kind of a game show where there is a prize, you have to have somebody that ensures that it's fair.
There, now that's just what I was talking about. Jeff Probst and his whole Survivor series thing. That's what I mean. That's the stuff I was looking up. And there's even more to it than what was outlined there. It's so stringent. And they're allowed to do things like creatively edit, because you're not within a reality show, within Survivor or whatever it may be. They creatively edit to make it more dramatic. And Jimmy, I believe, does that as well. And there's nothing nefarious about that. It's just the contest itself still has to be fair. And from what we're seeing, you can make a real strong case that maybe MrBeasts aren't. On a side note, I always thought Jeff Probst was very smarmy. Do you guys agree with me? Doesn't he seem smug? I think I would want to go on that show. Well, I know what I would like to do. I got to be careful what I say. Can I say that I want to go on that show just so I could throat punch Jeff Probst, or is that against? No, don't say that. Okay, I want to go on Survivor just so I can call Jeff Probst a duty head.
In my mind, I'm thinking it's a fair game, but it's not. If they were having problems finding people, they can see kind of what area you're in.
Okay, now at the 13-minute mark or so of this video, this Rosanna Pansino comes on. And I would encourage you guys, I'm not going to break everything she said down bit by bit. If you guys haven't seen what she has to say about how the contests are run, I guess she was a contest on one of Jimmy's promotions, one of his contests. It's pretty damning stuff. Some of it, again, I think is a little bit of a stretch to say that it was underhanded or nefarious, but there are other parts of it that are really, really concerning. And again, we're only getting her side, so I'm not going to post everything that I watched from her, but you guys can go on, watch the video itself, the original video, and see what you think. I would encourage you, if you don't watch that whole video, at least watch her segment. Do you think she's believable? First of all, she seems to be to me. I think at least there's definitely a cornerstone of factual evidence in everything she's saying, and that's kind of a problem.
A call to action is simply when you tell the viewer to do something. Saying subscribe is a call to action. Early in his career, MrBeast found a better version of this, where he takes a call to action and he adds positive or negative reinforcement to it.
Okay, now the concerns with calls to action. This one, again, I think this is kind of a stretch. Yeah, subscribe for a cookie. Yes, we know as adults, we know that they're just being silly and goofy, so on and so forth. And a child may not know it. But here's the thing, what's the harm? So if a kid watches that and says, Dad, I need to subscribe to that channel, I want the cookie, then it's mom's or dad's job to say, well, today you're going to learn about sarcasm, or you're going to learn about satire. But there's no real harm done. I think that's really stretching to try and indict him over something like subscribe for a cookie, subscribe or I'll smack you. We know all that's tongue in cheek. And again, does a child? No, but that's why child have parental guidance and adult guidance in their lives, so they can learn about things like comedy or as I said, just satire and sarcasm. There's plenty of things in here, plenty of issues raised that should be red flags. We don't need to go really scrounging for more. Okay, now there's a lot more to Dogpack's video, and as I said, I would really encourage you guys to watch it if you haven't, and draw your own conclusions. But these are the highlight things that I wanted to talk about. What am I left thinking about MrBeast or thinking about Jimmy after watching this? To be honest with you, I have less respect for him. I really do. I would love to hear item by item the official MrBeast response to everything that was in that video. I really would. I would be very happy to know that they have a solid counterpoint to everything that was brought up. I don't think that's the case. There's some pretty damning evidence in there. And again, it's stuff where when you're being dishonest to your audience, it doesn't sit well with me. So as of right now, yeah, this video definitely makes me have less respect for MrBeast and certainly turns me off from watching his content. I will watch any content though, and I should have, you know what? If I was good at putting videos together, I would have done this first. I was about to say, maybe, I'm such a pro, you guys. Maybe MrBeast has made a response video to this. I don't think so, but maybe he has. I'm going to go look for it, after the fact, because I really would like to have that broken down and not cherry picked. I'd like to see them break down all these allegations bit by bit and tell us why what's said in this video isn't true. Yeah, and so, one of these days I'm going to learn to make a thorough video and, do stuff before I start recording rather than telling you, hey, I'm going to do this later. But I've been hit on the head with a lot of metal folding chairs, so yeah, it's probably not going to go well. What do you guys think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. This will be a fun one to talk about.